Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coffee with Kenobi live every Monday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I am your host, of course, Dan Z. Thrilled to be here with you talking some Star Wars. And hey, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I'm pretty curious, by the way, when you are listening to this and we do the big opening, are you dancing? Dun, 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 dun. I picture Tom Gross doing a little dance. I think that's pretty entertaining. So hello again, everybody. It's good to see all of you. This is very exciting because today's show, of course, is going to be the usual Facebook Live that all of you are used to who have been watching this since March of 2020. Hard to believe we're almost at a year of Facebook Live. It's been so much fun. So as I hinted to last week, we're going to expand this, and we're going to bring in more people from our huge podcast audience. So I'm going to give the audio of this. I'm going to rip the audio of this after every show, and I'm going to put it on our Coffee with Kenobi podcast feed. So the audio of this will always be available, which is exciting because a lot of people who watch the show know how much fun it is to be on Coffee with Kenobi because you are a part of the show, right? Your feedback, your top fives, all of the things that you do for the show, they're a part of the show, which is wonderful. So now people who listen to the podcast regularly, which is a pretty substantial margin of people, they're going to get to see how much this show is a part of their fandom because you are all legitimately a part of each show, each episode. So let's bring in our friends. Let's bring in Minta. Hello, Minta. Good to have you. LJ, good to have you. Hope you had a good birthday. Greg, good evening to you, my friend. Ian, good to have you here. Mary, hello. Mary is a big Saints fan. I'm a Bears fan, so I expect that Mary next weekend will have a huge smile on her face because I do not expect the Bears to beat the Saints. So good luck to you, Mary. I don't think you'll need it. Dave, Happy New Year to you. Daniel, good to have you. That says Dan Zare. I'm pretty sure that is Mason Zare piloting my Facebook. So hello, Mason. I'm glad you like the opening tunes, Ian. They are a lot of fun. And Ross says, Happy High Republic Eve. That's right. The High Republic comes out tomorrow. We're going to talk about that quite a bit here pretty soon. Jamie is here as well. Good evening, Jamie. Hello, Blake. Good to have you. And then there is my niece under piloting my brother's podcast or my brother's Facebook feed. Hello, Elizabeth. Good to have you. Josh, good to have you here as well. All right, let's jump right into it. As I said, this audio is going to be on the podcast feed every week. We're going to try for about a month, see how it goes, see if it is able to get more people to join us every Monday night here live at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. That's the whole point of it. If I put the audio here so everyone can see how much fun we have on a regular basis, maybe that'll bring more people from the podcast feed over to Facebook Live. So here's to hoping that it works out. Dan, Happy New Year to you as well. All right, let's do it. Let's jump right in and see what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week. All right, what's brewing in the world of Star Wars this week? Obviously, we had a couple of weeks ago at the Disney conference call, we had all the announcements for Disney Plus and the feature films, that what's going to happen with Star Wars feature films. We got a lot of news about Star Wars publishing today. So let's go ahead and pull in what's going on with the High Republic. Here we go. A lot of exciting stuff going on for sure. So we've got The Rising Storm by Kevin Scott. That was one that we knew was going to come out. That is coming out in a couple of months. The Light of the Jedi is one that's coming out tomorrow by not by Kevin Scott, by Charles Soule. But The Rising Storm is one that's coming out very, very soon. So I'm interested to see what everybody thinks about that. Hey, Melissa, good to have you on the show. Good evening to you. So, new announcements today. Out of the Shadows by Justina Ireland. So that's going to be great. Another young adult novel, but that should be a lot of fun. We also have Race to Crash Point Tower. This was another new announcement. This is a middle grade novel, part of a series that they're working on, of course, within the High Republic itself. Then we've got a graphic novel by Kevin Scott and Rachel Stott, The Monster of Temple Peak. Look at that cover. That's a really, really stunning cover. I love that. It looks like it's a pink lightsaber. Adam, good to have you on the show, man. Hope you had a nice New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Then we've got The Edge of Balance. This is a manga style comic book series that's coming out. Justina Ireland has a hand in the story for that. So everybody's very, very excited about all of those things. And speaking of excited about these things, tomorrow, of course, we've got, well, the Test of Courage doesn't come out tomorrow, but Penguin Random House Audio is going to be your place to go. Of course, the show is sponsored by Penguin Random House Audio, but I only work with companies if I believe in their product, the quality, and what they do and how they run their business. And Penguin Random House Audio is about as good as it gets. Tomorrow, read by Mark Thompson, is Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. I have read it. We've done some reviews of it already, and you're going to be really blown away. Charles Soule absolutely delivers, as he does in all the Star Wars comic books, and he really knows how to weave a narrative, create an incredible Star Wars story. I'm telling you, everybody, this book is electric. The pacing of it, the build-up, the first 7 or 8 chapters have been on StarWars.com for a little bit, but once you get to dive into it, you're going to love it. It's going to change the way you look at the Force, and adds a lot of nuance that I think is really, really exciting. Dave wants to know, is Light of the Jedi the one to read first? It absolutely is the one to read first. It is definitely the one to do. It's also the only one you're going to get a chance to read it first. So that's a great one. It's definitely the first one to do. It really sets the stage for everything that's going to happen to kind of set the stage for this series. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, and Adam is bringing the news for us, Test of Courage comes out tomorrow as well. That's right. And Into the Dark comes out in February. My wires are all crossed because I've had these things for about a month, so I've gotten a chance to look at them. But A Test of Courage is great fun too. It's aimed at more of a younger audience, but the content is really, really high quality and is excellent. It's really excellent. So, and Ross is also helping us out as well. Thank you so much, Ross. It's been a crazy last couple of weeks here at the Zara compound. I'll have to tell everybody about it sometime. But we're very excited about the High Republic finally seeing the light of day. It is a tremendous, tremendous series. Again, it takes place, well, as I said, 200 years before The Phantom Menace. And it's great because it's the Jedi at their very peak, right? The absolute peak of their powers. They're very well respected throughout the galaxy, so it seems. And there's a lot that is happening right off the bat. Something strange involving hyperspace lanes and real danger and peril. I don't want to give away a lot. I mean, a lot of you know, of course, some of the basics of it, but it's well worth your time. You're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. Hello, sir. Good to have you on here as well. Awesome. All right. And Blake says, Charles Soule wrote some of the best comics. I hope it delivers on the novel side of the High Republic stuff. It does. I promise you, Blake, it delivers like it's some of Charles's best work, quite honestly. You're going to dig it. And again, if you're like when you're driving in your FedEx truck or whatever you're doing, you can feel free to get the Penguin Random House audio copy of it and hear it by Mark Thompson, who of course is about as good as it gets. Adam loved The Test of Courage. It's definitely a middle grade book, but loved the characters. I think it's well worth the read. There you go. Adam has done some great Star Wars reviews as well for Disney and Del Rey. So Adam is a good person to trust on that too. And of course, so is Ross, who's going to be writing and reviewing these for Fantha Tracks, right, Ross? Very good. Lisa also can vouch. Lisa, of course, no stranger to Coffee with Kenobi. She's the heart and soul of the website and a lot of what we do on social media. And our media specialist, Lisa Dillard, is. Well, that was Yoda-ish, wasn't it? But yeah, Lisa says they're both very good too. So there you go. Lisa's another excellent reviewer. Obviously, she does the reviews on Coffee with Kenobi's website that I don't do. So I trust her. She's awesome. She knows her stuff. So between Lisa and Adam and Ross and myself, I feel like that's 4 people that you can trust to give a good high quality review of these awesome books. All right. I think that's pretty good for the High Republic for now. Much more to come later. Let's jump into our top 5s. Top 5s now is, well, of course, Lisa, you deserve it. Happy to do so. Our top 5 this week is the top 5 things that we're most looking forward to in the world of Star Wars in 2021. So yes, top 5 Star Wars things to look forward to in 2021. There's a lot of stuff coming out that we know about. There's a lot of stuff that we're not completely sure of. But what we do know that's out there is is quite exciting, quite a bit to wet the proverbial Star Wars whistle. So let's go ahead and jump in. My number 5 thing I'm most looking forward to from Star Wars in 2021 is the Book of Boba Fett. I'm sure for a lot of you, it's going to be much, much higher on your list, and I love that. I respect that. But for me, I was really thrilled with Boba Fett in the tragedy. And then at the end of the finale of season 2, I wasn't as sure anymore because I wasn't sure what his modus operandi was. And now it's a wait and see. Of course, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, I'm going to watch it. Of course, we'll be doing reviews of it here on Facebook Live and all that good stuff. But I'm kind of taking a wait and see approach. So it's something that made my top 5, but it's number 5 for me. For Zach, when I think back to the end of Revenge of the Sith, I was thinking of what they will do for the future and love everything they are doing. That's my 2 cents. Well, great, Zach. I appreciate you sharing that, and great to see you here, my friend. Ian's number 5. The release of the Mandalorian visual guide in July. What can I say? I love Mando. Oh, that's a good one. That could easily make my list. And of course, Pablo did it, and we're big fans of Pablo Hidalgo here at Coffee with Kenobi. So that's a good one for sure. Ross is number 5. Star Wars Victory's Price, an Alphabet Squadron novel. Alexander Freed has built an amazing trilogy, and the finale is now less than 2 months away. There are so many critical threads to wrap up. Good. And that is the third book, obviously, of the trilogy that wraps up. It kind of ties into Star Wars Squadrons, I'd say, and it's going to lead into the Rogues. It won't directly connect to Rogue Squadron. We have no idea what Patty Jenkins' Star Wars movie is going to be in a couple of years, but everything with Star Wars and piloting, this is definitely a good time to be a fan of Star Wars if you're a fan of starfighters, X-Wings, TIEs, all that good stuff. So that's good. Thank you for sharing that, Ross. Number 5 for Jose is the Book of Boba Fett, similar to my number 5. And by the way, that is Mason's number 5 as well, the Book of Boba Fett. What else do we have? Mary says, more information about the upcoming theatrical movies. We know so little right now. You know, that's a good point, Mary. I'm looking forward to that as well. I don't know what we're going to find out about those, but I'm looking forward to them too. Number 5 for Blake. I don't really have a 5, but just news regarding all the projects happening. Blake, we'll accept it, dude. We'll accept it. That's a good one. Number 5 for me, to the Bad Batch. I love how it still replicates the same style as the Clone Wars, as well as a great story. Yep, that one didn't make my list, but it's certainly one that I'm thinking about. So thank you for sharing that, Minta. Greg from Real Base Card says, number 5, got to mention Steven to Star Wars 2021. Shout out to Tom. Yes, sure. Tom Gross has got a great show for Steven to Star Wars. We couldn't do it in person this year like we did last year, but there's a lot of great virtual stuff. I was part of a couple of videos, and Tom is going to be on the show with me later this week, along with Corey Clubb, the co-founder of Coffee with Kenobi, to talk about Steven to Star Wars and to also talk about what's coming in 2021. Number 5 for LJ, the Bad Batch. I love that we got some more post-Order 66 stories. I'm excited about that too, LJ, and how it's going to tie into, I mean, obviously it's way before the beginning of Rebels, but just that era of Star Wars is my favorite, as the Empire is at their peak, and I think that's interesting. Number 5 for Zach, expansion on any Star Wars video game they might announce. Ooh, very good. Very, very good. All right, let's go ahead and jump into number 4. Number 4 for me is Star Wars The High Republic. So I've read the first 3 books about this. The 2 of them come out tomorrow. And they're fun. They're expansive. They really add a lot to Star Wars. Where they're going to go with it, it's anybody's guess, but it's very exciting. It's hard for me to say a lot about it because I want to give a few months for people to read these books and enjoy them. I certainly, obviously, do not want to spoil anything for anyone. So we're going to wait and see. I don't want to reveal too much about it, but I'm looking forward to people reading this. We can have some top 5s about stuff from Star Wars The High Republic, but that is definitely my number 4. Not only getting to see more of this new era of Star Wars and storytelling, but to see all of your reactions. That's the best part for me. Oh, and there's our dog. All right, number 4 for Minta, the Book of Boba Fett. Similar to my number 5 and Mason's number 5. Ian's number 4, Launch of the Bad Batch. I hope this also means more Rex too. I do too. I wonder where he's going to be when this all launches. Number 4 for Ross, the 50th anniversary celebration of Lucasfilm. A skinny, awkward, pain in the backside student from USC Film School provide all things Star Wars amongst other great achievements, like Indiana Jones. You got it, Ross. And see, this is Ross, all of his writing, even on Facebook Live, is so high quality, so be sure to check out his reviews on Fantha Tracks for sure. Greg's number 4, the High Republic IDW comics. I love the work going into them. I do too, Greg, and I love the art. The art is really, really strong. Number 4 for Jose, Into the Dark. Sounds like a step into horror. Also, Gray's depiction of Leox Giashi as 90s McConaughey is exciting. It's good. It's accurate, Jose. And if you happen to get a chance on StarWars.com, I interviewed Claudia Gray to talk about Into the Dark, and she talks about that. She's a very, very charismatic, charming person, and I highly recommend that interview that I was able to do for StarWars.com to talk to Claudia about Into the Dark. Another fun one, for sure. Fun is an interesting choice, but it's a great book. Number 4 for Blake, any new action figures, but especially all the Boba Fett figures from The Mandalorian. I hope they come out soon. Oh, I know. And I hope that if they are exclusive, they're not so exclusive that they're impossible to find. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. That's a part of it. Number 4 for Mary the Bad Batch. Been hoping for more of these guys since we saw the unrendered frames at Celebration a few years ago. Yeah, so we don't have any dates yet, but based on the trailer stuff we saw, it looks like they're pretty far along. So I hope we get to see it sometime in the first half of the year. That would be great. Number 4 for Zach, my Din helmet. I pre-ordered at GameStop to add to my collection. Ooh, that'll be sweet. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of great merchandise coming out. Ross, Ian digs your choice, man. LJ says, number 4, the Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I love the Lego games. This one should be a blast. I think it's still coming out, but seems to keep getting delayed. Yeah, we looked at it, and am I right? Mason and I looked at it, and it said it was coming out December 31st, 2021. And that was on Amazon or Target. And I was very confused by that. I hadn't heard anything formally about any delay. So I'm going to do some digging on that, LJ, because I hope that comes out soon. What is the dog's number 4? I think he said the High Republic. Or she, sorry. Our dog is a little girl. Zoe is her name. And Zoe is a big fan of the High Republic, Ross. Thank you for asking. She'll be thrilled. And number 4 for Dan Kelly is new novels. Certainly you're going to get a lot of them, a ton of them. Daniel, number 4, the Book of Fett. Cannot get going on the top 5 this week. Hey, man, all good stuff. All good stuff. Carter, good to see you, dude. Carter's number 4 is the Bad Batch. Will be awesome to see them versus the Young Empire. Could see the show ending in many different ways. Yeah, and who knows, Carter, how many seasons we're going to get of the Bad Batch, but it's going to be really fun. Oh, apparently it was a new chew toy. That was what Zoe was looking for. Thank you. I'm going to guess that's Mrs. Z right there. Blake, Skywalker Saga is rumored to come out in March. Oh, really? I hope so. I hope so. Like I said, I'm going to do some digging on that because I sure do want it to be. Aaron's all top 5 is just more Star Wars. Well, Aaron, you're going to get a lot more Star Wars, more novels, Disney Plus, new merchandise, all kinds of good stuff. Mason's number 4 is Slave 1. The vintage collection version of Slave 1 is coming out, I believe, in March. So Mason is very much looking forward to that. Start saving your pennies, Mason. That'll be a fun one. Number 3 for me, speaking of that, is merchandise. I obviously love, you only see a very small part of what's going on in the coffee with Kenobi Studios here. If you're watching the show live on Facebook or you see it later on video, whether it's on our YouTube channel, which you can be sure to subscribe to, or to follow us on Instagram, you can find it there. And of course on Facebook's Our Coffee with Kenobi Facebook page. So Mason said boo, he doesn't want to save his money for that. Oh man, it's good. It's good for you, buddy. It'll be fun. Now I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see all the fun stuff. More Mandalorian stuff. Surely there'll be merchandise for the Book of Boba Fett. Who knows what'll happen with the High Republic. And then the classic stuff. And of course, Star Wars Celebration. Their store isn't really going anymore. But eventually, Star Wars Celebration, the next one comes out in 2022. So we're obviously well over a year away. But just getting announcements for that. I guess I could have put that on here too. But that might be more for the end of the year. But that's going to be fun to look forward to as well. Let's see everybody else's number 3. Number 3 for Greg. Tops the Mandalorian Season 2 cards releasing May 19th. Spring release. It should be a fantastic set. Oh, I'm sure it will. Season 2's got such great art. Minta's number 3 is Star Wars The High Republic. Very good. Jose's number 3, Light of the Jedi. Can't wait to kick off this new era of Star Wars. Jose and Minta and everybody, you're going to love it. I'm telling you. It's going to be really fun. All the High Republic items, Mary, very good. I'm assuming, Mary, who's going to the bookstore tomorrow to get them, or they're going to go to Ping and Random House Audio's website to check them out, or are you going to order them from Amazon? What are you going to do? You're going to love it. I can tell you that. Ian's number 3, launch of the Book of Boba Fett. Here's hoping to see a man-man inside the palace I wonder if Amana is still around. That'll be interesting to see. Number 3 for Zach, trailers in the midsummer for the Book of Boba, and pretty much Fett related for my third pick. Yep, anything Fett related is a good thing. People are going to love that for sure. And I wonder if the trailer will come out in the summer. Mando's trailer came out very late, but then again, there's not as much need to hype Mandalorian because it's already got that built-in thing going on. 3 for Ross, all things High Republic. I'm looking forward to meeting new characters and experiencing new worlds through some of my favorite authors and artists via the comics. Yes, for sure, Ross. I'm with you, buddy. Number 3 for Daniel, the Bad Batch series. We got a tease in season 7 and excited to see the expansion on these characters. I am too. I'm surprised I didn't put it on my list, but when you see my list, maybe you'll know why. LJ's number 3. I'm finally getting back to Walt Disney World in June, so that means I finally get to see Galaxy's Edge. I figured I'd throw one personal item into the list. I'm glad you did, LJ. And if things ever clear up and we're able to go back to Disney World, that would be an awesome, awesome thing. So, LJ, I can't wait to see your pictures and find out. And of course, when you're planning for Galaxy's Edge, I've got plenty of videos and audio podcasts from the grand opening of Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and at Walt Disney World. So be sure to check those out for last minute tips. Number 3 for Dan Kelly is the next season of The Mandalorian. Yes, which we won't see in 2021, unfortunately, but to get any news about it would be great. Number 3 for Blake, Bad Batch. I'm more excited to see how Filoni blows my mind with this because I'm not super excited for this in general. And also will surpass my shallow expectations. And Blake, that's kind of a good way to be, I think. I try to have very, very subtle, easy expectations because then I don't have to worry about getting disappointed because sometimes that does happen, of course. Mary says you're going to love it, and Mary is correct. You are going to love it. Number 3 for Mason is also The Bad Batch. We write on our R2D2 dues. This is a little set of little note paper. Note paper? What am I, 100? It's a little series of sticky notes where Mason and I do his top 5s every week. So I was just reading that. Fun stuff. All right, number 2. Top 5 Star Wars things that we are most looking forward to in 2021. The Galactic Star Cruiser. What is that? That is the Halcyon. In other words, in layman's terms, it is the Star Wars Hotel. That is what the Galactic Star Cruiser is. Now, it was always scheduled to open in 2021. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not sure. I think they're on schedule as far as building goes. Not 100% sure on that. And I certainly don't have any official word about it. I wish I did. But the Star Wars Hotel is going to be experiencing Star Wars like a way we never dreamed possible. Galaxy's Edge is next level stuff, but then actually be in a hotel and be immersed in Star Wars for 3 days, 2.5 days. I can't imagine what that's going to be like. So I'm very optimistic when that opens, being able to experience that and hopefully bring a lot of wonderful coverage to each and every one of you. So the Galactic Star Cruiser, the Halcyon, Halcyon, is the official name of it. You're going to be living Star Wars in this hotel. All of the windows in the hotel are going to be like these HD screens where you're going to look like you're in space. You're going to have special access to stuff inside Galaxy's Edge. There's a special entrance, merchandise, lightsabers. Oh man, it's going to be unbelievable. So that's definitely my number 2. But what could possibly be my number 1? We'll get to that. Let's get to everybody else's first. Brian's got his number 3 still. He got his copy of the Star Wars book for Christmas. Looking forward to going through it and maybe making the drive to get it signed. Well, Brian, when we ever have signings again, I will be sure to announce it here on Facebook Live and on Coffee with Kenobi all over social media and on the podcast because I'd love to sign your book for you. I'd love to sign everybody's books. In fact, again, thank you so much to everybody. A lot of people got the book for Christmas or give it as a Christmas gift, which is super fun. So I love that. Maintenance number 2. Merchandise, just need to choose wisely. That's right. Fine. Make sure you got space for it and you've got the money for it. And then who knows where Star Wars merchandise will take you. Number 2 for Ian, publication of the Mandalorian novel by Adam Christopher. Yes, and I wonder what's going to happen with that. Like what time frame it is, what characters will be in it. I don't know. That's going to be a tricky one, but I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on with it. Mary's number 2, Andor series. I love Rogue One and can't wait to find out more about the backstories. Yes, I mean, eventually we're going to get to a place where, I mean, we've seen the Marvel schedule for the Marvel Disney Plus stuff. So once we get things rolling and they get everything filmed for all these Disney Plus series, we're going to have a lot of Star Wars coming our way. Man, amazing. Jose's number 2, Monster of Temple Peak, creature feature graphic novel, The Saber for Hire. Sounds fun. Yeah, that was a cool description of it today. Hopefully everybody got a chance to watch the live stream. There's some great stuff there. Ross the Bad Batch, now with more Fennec Shand. That's right, Fennec Shand is going to be in this and going to be in the Book of Boba Fett, so she's going to be all over the place. Number 2 for Brian, of course, merchandise, my poor credit card. Well, Brian, come on, buddy, save your money. Don't use that credit card. Use the Force. That's the credit card's the dark side of the Force. You know that. Brian's, of course, a huge collector. He and I have gone on many collecting runs when we were younger. So, yeah, it's my number 3, your number 2. Aaron just wants to live in it permanently. Well, Aaron, I bet you are not alone, my friend. I bet you are not alone on that one. Greg's number 2, seeing Fennec Shand in the Bad Batch, if she's in the same as in the trailer, should be a great series. And plus, she's a lot younger in the Bad Batch, a lot younger. So she'll be a different character, you would think. It'd be cool to see her grow and change. Number 2 for Blake, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I've waited forever for this game and can't wait to play it on my Xbox Series X. Yeah, man. All right, Series 10, I guess I could say. Yeah, that'll be fun. Mason's number 2, by the way, is Ahsoka. Ahsoka, the series, any information about Ahsoka, the trailer, that's going to be really exciting, and that is Mason's number 2. That's a good choice. LJ's number 2, Visions. My daughter and I are huge anime fans, so we're looking forward to seeing a new take on the Star Wars universe. We're actually talking about what anime studios we're hoping to see take these short films on. So LJ, I'm glad you reminded me of that, because I don't know a lot about anime, so when these come out, I might have to have you on the show to help me review them, because I don't know a ton about anime, and I know you were a big fan, you and your family. Number 2 for Dan Kelly is the Book of Boba Fett. Excellent. Number 2 for Daniel Selleck is everything related to the High Republic, specifically for the cosplay world. We are excited about the new hilts we can make / purchase and the elaborate new Jedi tunics. Just waiting for the CRLs to be created for costumes. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Daniel, because that will be very fun to see what people do with cosplay. And by the time we have the next celebration, we'll have over a year and a half of the High Republic, so we'll be very familiar with that world, so it'll be even more exciting, I think. Okay, it's time for number 1 thing we're most looking forward to from Star Wars in 2021. My number 1 is The Mandalorian Season 3. Look, as you may or may not be aware, The Mandalorian Season 3 is not coming out in 2021, but undoubtedly we're going to get some sort of official news. I really hope that we don't have things like we did with the Hollywood Reporter and Variety and all these other places that give us casting news / speculation, and then when the characters show up on the screen for the first time in the series, it's not as big of a shock because you know that they've been cast. So I'm going to try very, very hard to stay away from all those things. So obviously, if you find out, don't tell me, because I don't want to know. It'll just be fun to get official word about The Mandalorian Season 3. The Mandalorian's become one of my favorite aspects of Star Wars. Mostly, the characters are great. The surprises are amazing. The way they breathe life in this thing, the music, Filoni and Favreau, of course. But seeing it with my son every morning when they come out, that's my favorite part about The Mandalorian. So those are the things I'm most looking forward to for sure. All right. Let's see what everybody else has for their number 1s. Greg, number 1, maybe seeing the December C2E2 goes playing with my Star Wars family safely in attendance. Oh, I didn't know we're thinking about doing that in December. Well, that would be cool. That would be very fun, Greg. Let's keep that in mind. Ian's number 1, a new year means a whole lot of Star Wars collectibles and merch. Do I have space for all of it? With there will, there's a way. Hashtag I have spoken. Ian is a huge collector, and he's also a great enabler. He's trying to get Mason a Nerf blaster from The Mandalorian. So, Ian, I hope all of your Star Wars collectible dreams come true for you, buddy. And thank you for the compliments on my choices. This is a fun list to do. Meantime, this is a tie for me, and I'm looking forward to the Obi-Wan and Ahsoka series. It'll be incredible to see how they tell their stories. Yeah, I thought about putting Obi-Wan on there too, and I just kind of forgot because of the other things I put. But that it is going to be fun to see. Number 1 for Brian, the Book of Boba Fett. Any news of live action shows? Yes. Number 1 for Jose is Jose Roberto Correa. The third. My apologies, Jose. That's the trick for Facebook Live. Those of you who've been watching the show since March know that pronunciation. We know this pretty tight Star Wars family we've got here that joins me every Monday night. It's so wonderful to spend every Monday evening with each of you. But those of you listening on the podcast feed, this is hopefully as we get to know you, I'll learn to pronounce your names really well too, because that I think naming is sacred and important, for sure. Number 1 for Mary Kenobi series. Mary, first I thought you said Kenobi t-shirts. I don't know why I thought that. I was looking out the corner of my eye. But yeah, the Kenobi series will be great fun. Of course, on Coffee with Kenobi, we'll be covering it extensively. Ross, Thrawn Ascendancy, The Greater Good. I love Chaos Rising and all of Timothy Zahn's Thrawn books. I'm so excited for the next installment in April. Wow, it's coming down so quickly. Man, there's going to be so much Star Wars to read about. LJ, number 1, the book of Boba Fett. Tamira Morrison knocked it out of the park as Boba in season 2. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I am too. The fact that we've got Tamira Morrison in it is great. Jose says, also, honorable mention for Edge of Balance. Original manga should be fun. Makes me excited for Visions as well. Well, good. You and LJ will definitely be all over that. Dan says, number 1, another year of weekly podcast from Dan's Air and Friends on Coffee with Kenobi. May the Force be with us in 2021. Well, thank you, Dan. I very much appreciate that. I'm looking forward to that. I almost put that as my number 1, just being able to do these things because it's so much fun to share our Star Wars fandom together. So thank you for saying that, Dan. Meantime, honorable mentions of the Mandalorian Season 3 series and hoping to go to Galaxy's Edge in the future. Oh, yeah. It's great, Minta. You will love it. It's an amazing place. It takes your breath away. Blake's number 1, Book of Boba Fett. This feels like the show I've waited for over 25 years to see. Good to know, Blake. It's good to know, man. Ian, and the Mudhorde egg. Dan, I support Mason getting that egg. Oh, I think they're sold out. Fingers crossed. Well, speaking of Mason, his number 1 is the Fett nerf, of course. That is Mason's number 1 thing he's most looking forward to if that happens to show up at our doorstep. Daniel, the start of the Kenobi series production, any trailers, merch, etc. And the yelling Darth Maul voice. Oh, man. Oh, man. Won't that be cool? Brian says, Obi. Yep, Obi-Wan for sure. Just call you Doc. All right, Doc. I'm going to call you Doc. I'm happy to do it. It's just a habit. I see the things. I read them. Boom. And Mason is actually listening to this in the other room so I can hear him reacting about 10 seconds after I say certain things. So it's pretty entertaining to hear him laugh and say, what? Yep, there you go. There you go. All right, a little dramatic pause there. That was pretty entertaining. All right, so that was it. That was your top 5 things you're most looking forward to from Star Wars in 2021. Next week, we didn't do these style top 5s for a while because we were looking at The Mandalorian. But next week's top 5, we return to top 5 favorite moments from classic beloved characters. So, hey, how about this guy? Top 5 Darth Vader moments. I looked through and scrolled through the past lives that we had done, and we never did a top 5 Darth Vader moment. So this is it, your top 5 Darth Vader moments. Now don't just pick from the original trilogy. We've got Rogue One, you've got Star Wars Rebels, you've got the comics, you've got a lot of stuff in the novels. So there is a lot of great Darth Vader. So your top 5 Darth Vader moments, and Mason is correcting me to say the Mando Blaster. I don't know what I said, buddy. Oh, I said Boba Blaster. Oh, okay. Thank you. I heard you yelling about something. Yes, top 5 Vader. I knew a lot of people were going to be fired up about this. LJ, you have a top 30? Okay, well, you get your top 30 ready and then narrow it down to 5, and you can share that. But you can always, of course, share your top 30 in the CWK Cafe naturally, right? Speaking of the CWK Cafe, if you're not 100% familiar with the CWK week, top 5 favorite Darth Vader moments. It's going to be so much fun. And Doc, you are going to have to put a lot of thought into this because there's a lot of great stuff there. A lot of great Star Wars and Darth Vader. I mean, Darth Vader is my favorite Star Wars character. There are a lot of great ones. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. All right, so this is the part of the program where you can ask me anything Star Wars related. You can ask me about Coffee with Kenobi, different things with Dan Z Media, the Star Wars book itself, anything that is going on. Mrs. Zara is saying no to something. I'm assuming it's because of more merchandise. I'm not really sure, but feel free to let us know about that. Oh, or maybe that's your top 5 moment for Darth Vader. I see. Not Vader. Sure, Vader. Of course, Darth Vader is going to be fun. He's a great character. All right. So, what questions do you have for me? While you're thinking about that, if you're thinking, we talked about the Halcyon, the Galactic Star Cruiser. We talked about some of our members of the Coffee with Kenobi family are considering going to Disney World and Galaxy's Edge. And if you are going to do something like that, I definitely hope that you will think about using MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. They are the official travel partners of Coffee with Kenobi. I use them for stuff with our family and for travel for Coffee with Kenobi, and they are amazing. They help you adjust the bookings. Your prices go down. They help you find the best hotels, airlines, help you get to where you need to go. They are amazing. So I highly recommend MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for all of your travel needs for sure. All right. So let's see. Blake wants to know, what's your favorite Yoda quote aside from do or do not? I do like do or do not. But I think the thing that comes up in my mind the most is when he's considering whether he should train Luke, and he talks about how Luke his mind is always looking to the future, never his mind on where he was or what he was doing. And that's important, to be present in the moment. That is something I'd struggled with for a while. I'm much better at now than I used to be, but I find that when I don't focus on the moment, you tend to get more keyed up or anxious about things that aren't as important. So living in the moment is so key and so crucial, and that's something that Yoda talks about and what he wants Luke to do. Favorite Star Wars item you got for Christmas? Well, actually, Ian, believe it or not, I don't think I got anything Star Wars related for Christmas. And to be fair, I mean, my family spoiled me rotten. I got some great Michael Jordan stuff, which I love from my son. And Mrs. Eric got me the Pac-Man actual arcade game, cabinet game. So, I mean, I really couldn't ask for much more. I'm actually very hard to buy for when it comes to Star Wars, as I'm sure many of you are as well. There's actually a great interview I did with Steve Stansweet for Christmas 2 years ago, and he talked about people don't really get him Star Wars stuff because, I mean, honestly, how could you get anything for Steve Stansweet? But that's a good question. What about you, Ian? What did you get Star Wars related for Christmas? Are we getting another holiday special this year? Well, I hope so. I sure hope so. I haven't heard if that's going to be a regular thing or not, but that would be great. I brought this question up, Minta says, a few months back, but have you thought of a Star Wars tattoo design? You know what? If I did get a Star Wars tattoo, I'd probably get my family's names in Orabesh on my arm. I think that would be cool. Or Chopper. That used to be a joke that I was not going to get a Chopper tattoo, is when I didn't really know Chopper that well, but now Chopper's one of my favorite characters. But I think something cool in Orabesh would be neat. It would look really subtle and cool, but Star Wars fans would know what it was. Doc's an educator in the real world. He says, I create content and training videos and tech manuals and quick reference guides. Here, bring Star Wars into your classroom. Do you find it hard to do this? It's a passion of mine, but I find in my line of work I can get away with quotes at times. Just wondering how your students and parents feel about it. Well, Doc, that's super cool you asked that. I've done a lot of shows about that. In fact, I did a teaching inspiration podcast that I'll post in the CWK Cafe, so be sure to check it out on Coffee with Kenobi's CWK Cafe. That's a place where I talk all about Star Wars and using Star Wars in the classroom for inspiration. It's led me to a lot of amazing things. For StarWars.com, I was in a Target commercial because I use Star Wars in the classroom. A lot of great stuff because of Star Wars and education. So I'll post a couple of resources there for you, Doc. Be sure to check it out and let me know if you have questions. So you'll email me, danzy@coffeewithkenobi.com, and I'd be happy to chat with you. Jose, my favorite Yoda quote, truly wonderful, the mind of a child is. I like that one too. Ian says, I love my mug. I shared it in the cafe. Also, my mom and dad bought me a very needed new display shelf for my collection. Oh, Ian, cool. Be sure to post that. Yeah, he posted a really cool Mandalorian mug that he has for the holiday season, which is really, really sharp. Really sharp. Yoda's favorite is That Is Why You Failed, based on what Luke says beforehand, means a lot to my spiritual life. I like that one, Blake. That is good. I'm a spiritual guy as well. I also like in The Last Jedi when Yoda talks about how failure is the greatest teacher. That might be my favorite quote. I wrote about that one for StarWars.com too, and what that actually means and what he's trying to say. Really, really, really powerful stuff. All right, everybody. Well, that's going to do it this week for CWK Live. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to hang out with me every Monday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're listening to this on the podcast feed, be sure to join us on Facebook Live, www.coffeewithkenobi.com/live or www.facebook.com/coffeewithkenobi. And you can be a part of this conversation as all of my wonderful friends are here as well. Minta, this is the way. Good to see you. Good to see you, Blake and Ian and LJ and Ross and everybody who joined us. Greg, thank you so much for being here. Again, be sure to check out tomorrow the High Republic. We've got 2 books. We've got Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, and you've also got A Test of Courage by Justina Ireland, both available from Penguin Random House Audio Publishing. It's an awesome series. You're going to love it. The audio books of it are great. So much fun. You're going to love it. I can't wait to see what everybody thinks about it, about the High Republic, about look for Ross's reviews. Look for Lisa's tomorrow. Daniel, thanks for joining us. Ian, you have a great week too. Mary says she's going to talk to me during the game. Uh-oh, Mary, I might be talking through tears. Not really. I don't expect the Bears to win, like I said, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Always a lot of fun. Blake, I love having you in the CWK family. You say the group means the world to you, and I'm so grateful for that. But you and everyone here means so much to me and my family for all the fun stuff that you guys have done for Star Wars. No matter what people say, Star Wars fans are awesome. We have a great community. It's because of each and every one of you. So thank you so very much. We'll see you next week on Facebook Live at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And, of course, be sure to check out everything we've got going on the podcast side of things. This week on Coffee with Kenobi, again, we're going to be talking about Steam into Star Wars. This week on Pour Over, last week we had the Marvel Studios announcements. Mason and I went through a lot of the Marvel Studios films during Christmas break and had the best time doing that. And then now we've got our New Year's goals and plans and ideas we have for 2021. Again, that is if you're a member of the CWK Alliance. That is our Coffee with Kenobi Patreon page. That is where you get exclusive access to CWK Pour Over. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great week. And remember, this is the podcast you're looking for. Have a good one, everybody.